In the previous episode, I found and collected the cheap bike, which I'm gradually going to be turning into a super bike. And I've stripped it down, as you can see. And by doing so, I was able to get a good look at the frame and forks to make sure that everything was okay. Today, we are going to give this bike something which screams pro, and that is a paint job. That's right, I'm going to spray this bike up. Just you wait. I'm a little bit nervous, actually. Now, through much arguing or debate in the office... Right, let's see if anyone's in here I can ask for advice on paint. Ah! Mr. Hank, here he is. Speak of the devil. Right, mate, I've got to go and paint this bike.
Yeah.
Give me a bit of advice. Right, what am I going to paint it like? I'm a bit lost for inspiration.
I mean, good question. I'd go for, like, you know those old Spitfires that they used to have?
Oh, yeah?
With the pin-ups on the front. I think Cav did it.
Yeah, he did. I'm not sure about my artistic painting is as good as that, but... Or
maybe the zebra look that Cipollini did.
Oh, right, yeah,
Just cover it and make it look like a zebra.
The zebra, right. A zebra bike, that's some food for thought. Thanks, mate.
Something a bit different.
Very different. See you later.
Cheers, boy.
Don't work too hard.
No, mate, always.
I'm lost. I don't know what to do. What would you do if you could paint a bike?
Well, I would go for something like a mirrored chrome finish with then, I don't know, maybe a couple of like maps on some point of it from some of the favourite rides I've ever done. Nothing too difficult, John.
No, okay, right, so you want me to mirror chrome it?
Yep.
And also put some maps on it somehow?
Yeah, you know, from a couple of your favourite rides in the past.
Brilliant, okay, yeah, you've definitely given me, well, a headache with that suggestion, but yeah, thank you very much.
Enjoy.
Yeah, get back to work, go on. Right, I need your help, mate. You know that cheap bike I'm turning into a super bike?
Yeah.
Well, I've got to paint it, and the problem is I've asked Hank, I've asked Opie, their suggestions, well, I can't do that. You know, I'm not a magician, I'm not a paint expert, so I've come to you. Right, Dan, how am I going to paint this bike? I can't let down the viewers, they're gagging for it.
I don't suppose their designs were any good anyway, were they? Young whippersnappers, they've got no class. Anyway, I think the paint job's pretty easy. I've always wanted a bike where most of it was kind of a golden, sort of blonde, fizzy colour, and then the very top part of the frame was more of a sort of foamy white colour. Do that?
Yeah, I was thinking something a bit easier really than a beer-coloured bicycle.
Yeah, if you can't do that, I'd go for... I don't think you can go wrong with something traditional, like nothing too complicated, like red, bit of red, bit of yellow, bit of blue. That would stand out.
Oh, yeah, now you're talking. I've got an idea. Right, I'm going to let you go back to your intervals, and well, I've got to go and spray this bad boy because the viewers, well, they want to see results, don't they? Let's face it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing it, mate.
Yeah, so am I, because I'm going to get absolutely covered in paint, I reckon. But it's going to be worth it. We've decided that this bike should actually take the colour scheme of Greg LeMond's 1991 race bike, a bike which I think looks great and hopefully I can replicate okay. Besides, we also need to get rid of this slightly controversial logo on the seat tube. At this point, I was also tempted to take you home with me to actually see my workshop and the air-fed spraying setup and a shot blast cabinet, but, well, not everyone has that luxury. So, something which you can probably all get from your local bike shop is something called spray.bike, and they've been lucky enough to supply us a few cans of this. Now, the folks at spray.bike did in fact tell me that I could just paint over the existing paintwork, but I think we should actually take it back to the bare metal in order to save a little bit of weight and also get the best job possible. So for this, I'm going to be using one of these, a preparation wheel, which is going to attach onto an angle grinder to try and get rid of as much paint from the frame and forks as possible before priming it. So let's go and do that. Right, now I've managed to get off as much paint from the frame and forks as possible. It's time to apply some of this metal primer onto it, which means that the paint is actually going to stick to it just that little bit better. As you can see, I've also filled in any of the threaded parts of the frame too with little bits of tissue paper so this paint doesn't clog it and, well, make my job much more difficult down the line. It only takes 20 minutes to dry too, which means I can carry on with the painting in a pretty short amount of time. So with no further ado, whoa, like magic. Right, here it goes. I am going to follow the instructions down to the letter. So I've been told to shake the can vigorously and do it in strokes about 20 centimetres away from the frame. Here goes. So there we are, the primer's on, and I must say it's quite an easy job, but it's quite difficult too to actually see what you have done and what you haven't done because of the silver of the brushed aluminium underneath. But when I come back, once this is dried fully, we're going to start painting it, and this is when the nerves are really going to kick in. Right, so the primer is dry, and now comes the most nerve-wracking bit of all for me, because I'm now going to actually do the final coats of paint. But I have been reassured by the folks at spray.bike that this paint does in fact come out almost dry-like and in a powder form, which is music to my ears, because having used rattle cans before, when they start to dribble and run down a bike or a frame, it's absolutely, well, awful to see. So fingers crossed for me, please, everybody at home, because you don't understand quite how nervous I am about this. Right, let's do it. Also, I printed out this, so at least I know I've got the paint. So there we are, the finished item. I must say though, halfway through I decided I didn't want to do the fade anymore. Instead I wanted to go for some nice clean cut lines, a bit like the Panasonic team bikes of the late 80s and early 90s. Hope you like it. Let me know though what you think of the colour scheme down below. And also, why not like and share this video with your friends too. And stay tuned, because in the next episode I'm going to be specking out exactly what this bike's going to be coming with. And why not check out the GCN shop at shop.globalcyclingnetwork.com. We got a whole heap of goodies for you to spend your pocket money on. And now for another great video, in fact part 1, exactly why we chose this bike, how about clicking just down here.